Welcome to the Wicked Gamer and Collector. So in this video we're going to take a close look at the Game Box or the Gem Box from Gigabyte. This thing was released quite some time ago, and now the reason why I wanted to talk about, for an Android slash gaming console, it was a very unique design. So inside the box we're going to get, a controller in combination with an Android box. It's already a couple of years old, so this is not to be compared with an Nvidia Shield, but there are some similarities, and I'm not talking about the specifications. The box itself was more like a package deal in combination with one Xbox 360 lookalike controller. It's slightly smaller, that's not, let's say, one-to-one a copy of the Xbox 360, and even has some different options like a controller mode and a mouse or navigation mode. On top of the box we're going to get an on-off switch. At the back we're going to Ethernet, HDMI, an input for the power supply, and we're only going to get one USB connection, so we're going to need a hub. But we're having also a micro SD for extending the internal memory, because the internal memory was not that big. But let's talk about the controller itself. So the Emtec controller, already mentioned, was similar like the model of an Xbox 360 when it comes to the shape of the controller. Of course not the joysticks, because we're having two joysticks in the middle like a PlayStation controller. The D-pad was a different model that I don't see very often nowadays. So in the end it was a unique design. It was a little bit too small for my hands. At the bottom we're having the on-off switch that can we switch to a controller mode and navigation mode. Quite interesting. So the package itself was a very unique design, and an idea more like getting you an Android box that is specially made for gaming. It also includes the Google Play Store, so it also has the option to play some Android games. And of course, within Play Store we can install our own emulators and basically make this thing a retro emulation monster. Or is this something we not even need to think about? But they were more like collaborating with Gamefly streaming membership, so we're going to get them 1 month free that we're not going to use, of course, even if this Gamefly is still up. So when it comes to the Gem Box itself, it's still for sale here and there. I picked it up some time ago with a shop that was selling it for quite a lot of money, but sometimes you can buy it for a couple of dollars. But okay, so this device itself has a quite interesting user interface. It gives more like a game console feeling. The Play Store is in front of it, but let's take a close look at the games. It did ask me a couple of times to update. I tried to update with different ways like the Wi-Fi or the Ethernet connection, but somehow it keeps asking me and it doesn't update. So I'm guessing the service itself is offline. But as you can see already, we're having here Retro Gaming. It comes pre-installed with some emulators like Gigabyte, not the best out there. But you can basically sideload some other stuff if you want to, or you can get yourself from the Play Store. Use the APK installer if you want to sideload the APK files, because sometimes it doesn't work that great with the Play Store. Okay, let's take a close look at AIDA64 and the specifications. Here you can see that device type is TV, manufacturer is Gigabyte, the model is the Gem Box F500 and the brand Emtec. It runs on an AIM-Logic S805, that is basically ARM Cortex A5 that runs on 1536 MHz. Yeah, and I must say that the Mali 400 MP is not a really high-end chipset anymore. But if you want to watch some 4K or you want to do some Netflixing, the Emtec box is capable of running these kind of videos. When it comes to emulation, let's talk about this. Because when you're looking at the PlayStation 1 that can be run on a lot of Android boxes, the Emtec can handle it pretty good on native resolution. Don't think about putting it on twice the resolution, because the Emtec box is not powerful enough to run this.
Round 1. Fight!
But let's push this device to the limit with the PP-SSPP emulator, or better said, PlayStation Portable. And you can see that Tekken 6 doesn't run that great, simply because it's not powerful enough to run this. When you're going to skip to two-dimensional games, you can see a minor improvement because it doesn't need the rendering power like with Tekken 6. But in the end, this is not the way how you want to play these games, of course. So N64 is one of my favorite systems from back up the day. I've played a lot of Diddy Kong Racing, but sadly it's not running perfectly on the Emtec box, and better said, like high-end boxes too. In combination with the Emtec and some good emulators, we can get a decent frame rate to enjoy some games. But let's be honest, this is not the way how you want to play these old school games. But if you want to play some two-dimensional games, 8-bit, 16-bit or 32-bit, it doesn't matter, these games will run just fine and will have no problem with the Emtec box. So the Emtec box can still be used for a lot of old school, cool games up to PlayStation 1. So when booting up, you could see the classic boy emulator already been on the front end, but it is not the best way to go to. It's free and you can play a lot of great games and very easily. I prefer to have Retroarch. It's a little bit more difficult to set up, but the results will be way better when it comes to the emulation in combination with the Emtec box. But if you don't want to have the hassle and you just want to have something that's plug and play, most of these systems are running pretty decent to enjoy. N64 and PlayStation 1 are very old emulators and not perfect, and you can do a quick load quick save with the free version. If you're going to set it up with the classic boy, you will not get the best performance, but still PlayStation 1 is very well playable in combination with the N64 emulator that will glitch out a lot. So again, I would say just install Retroarch, and in combination with this box you can do a lot of great things in 2021 with the Gigabyte Emtec box. So the Emtec box, if you can pick this thing up for, let's say, a couple of dollars, it would be a great device to play some old school retro games. Setting it up, I do like the interface and how it works. The Emtec controllers are pretty good, and then overall I had a very good experience. But again, nowadays we're having boxes that are maybe cheaper if you're looking at the prices of the Emtec and are way more powerful. I want to thank you for watching. Consider subscribing, hit the bell, become one of the Wicked family, and give this video a like, and I will see you in the next video.